It's time for the Northwoods Cooking Show. Starring Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, the troublemaking dog.
Hello and welcome to the Northwoods Cooking Show. I'm your host, Uncle Roy, and today we're going to be doing today's episode, we're going to be doing recipes that are quick and easy for you to fix. Now, I've talked with people that have gone into the grocery stores, I've seen you pushing your grocery carts, and I look to see what you're buying. Hardly anybody buys anything to make from scratch. We're all in a hurry, we don't have time, I'm working all day, get home, I gotta fix dinner for the kids, so what am I gonna make? And everybody wants something that's quick and easy, heat and serve, add water, boom, boom, or whatever, and have it done. You want it done for them. Well, as I said before in the previous episodes, especially during the baby food ones, it was talking about how nowadays, like when I was a kid back in the day, you never heard of peanut allergies. You never heard of people with diabetes. You never heard of all these stressful medical problems that people are having. Life just went on, boom. Well, I personally believe that's all to do with all the processed foods, all the preservatives and additives, etc. I mean, we were growing up, we had a big garden, we ate healthy and everything else. Dad and the whole family was hunting and fishing. So we had a lot of fresh game and stuff too. So we didn't have all those preservatives and stuff, Nowadays, everybody doesn't do anything except open up a can and heat and serve, add water, whatever. And everything is just loaded with preservatives and just tons of salt because salt's a preservative. Look at your package, almost the first ingredient is salt, you know what I mean? It's like salt everywhere, That's why when I'm cooking, and you've seen me cook before, of course, because you're watching my show, but I try to stay away from salt from putting it into foods. So there's a lot of things that we never experienced when we were kids growing up, my age, my generation. That's really affecting kids nowadays, and it's really, kind of bad. So everybody's in a hurry. What can I make? Quick, hurry. Well, I'm gonna take and break my rules and do some of the preservative cooking, but I'm gonna show you some of the quick tips because that's what people want. So this is what I'm gonna give you. And today we're gonna be making a spinach and cheese tortellini lasagna. Won't that sound good? Oh, it's gonna take forever. Lasagna takes all day. Well, that's if you make it from scratch and make your tomato sauce, etc. And it does take a long time to do it if you do it from scratch. But we can take and cut it down and make it much simpler. What I'm going to be doing is, I just diced up a small onion into small dice. We're going to put that in the pan and cook that off, along with a ½ pound of ground beef. Now, this recipe is going to serve, well, how much you want to eat, you know what I'm saying? How big a portion. But I'm just making this, you can double this for a bigger family, but I'm just making this would be good enough for approximately 2 to 4 people. Like I said, how much you want to eat. And all we're going to do is brown off our hamburger along with our onion. And we'll just let this cook, and then we'll drain off the fat. And it'll be that. So let me just brown this off, and then I'll come right back. Okay, I got that all done. Now only took a couple of minutes just to brown that off because I only got a ½ pound. That could go really quick. So now we'll just put all the pre-made stuff together. So what I'm going to do is I just got a jar. You can get I got Prego sauce here. You can use Ragu, whatever, or the canned Chef Boyardee. But I got a cup of sauce, and I'm just going to pour in a couple of tablespoons. And we'll just take and spread this around on the bottom of your pan. Now this helps to prevent the pasta from sticking to your pan. So it comes out much easier and nicer. Then, very simple, we're gonna take and put in, I got spinach and cheese frozen tortellini. Okay. And I'm just going to do half of this package. Now you can do the full package for 4 people, and I'm doing a recipe here for 2 people, because I don't need to eat all that much. So I got 2 cups of tortellini, and I'm just going to sprinkle half of that. So I'm going to do a cup of tortellini first on the bottom here. And then I'll do half of my meat. And just pour that on top. And just spread that around. Very simple so far, isn't it? And then we're going to put on, how much I got left? I want 2 tablespoons. A little less than half a cup of the sauce. And just take and smooth that over the top. Spread that evenly. And then, what we need is about a 1/4 cup of the shredded mozzarella. I'm just measuring this out only because as a recipe per se for you. Me personally, I just eyeball and just cover it with how much I want, you know what I'm saying? But recipe for price-wise, convenient-wise, you want to get about a 1/4 cup of cheese over the top of that. Then we will take and put on the other cup of tortellini on top of that. And just repeat this all over again. And let me do the meat, the other half of meat. Now, if you want this as a vegetarian dish, instead of ground beef, you could take, and along with the onions, you could take and saute mushrooms along with that, or eggplant, or other vegetables, any root vegetable or carrots you want to take and slice real thin so they cook up quicker and easier. Or you could just even take and use fresh spinach if you wanted to, and just make a thin layer of fresh spinach leaves across instead of the ground beef. But anyway, I have the ground beef, have that spread across. Then I'll pour on the remaining other half cup of sauce, sprinkle that all over. And we'll just pack that down a little bit. And do another 1/4 cup of cheese on top of this. And just sprinkle that evenly all over the top. And that's it. Now we just throw this in the oven and bake it. And we'll put this in a 350-degree oven, and it's going to go for approximately 20 to 25 minutes. So it's going to cook up really quickly because I'm only doing a recipe for 2. Now, if you're going to double this and make it for 4, then it's going to take about 30 to 35 minutes to cook. But it's the same principle. You're just doing the layers, and that's that. You got your pre-made sauce, and you got your cheese. Tortellini, boom, it's going to be spinach and cheese with ground beef, tortellini lasagna. So we'll come right back when that's all done, and I'll take it out of the oven. Oh, and then I almost forgot. We're going to cover this while it's baking, and then the last 5 minutes we'll take off the cover. We can add a little bit more cheese on top if we want to make it a more cheesier topping on top. Mix it to cover it. Okay, now for our next recipe. This is going to be sausage and cheese stuffed manicotti. So this is going to be a wonderful recipe that's really very easy to make. All we're going to need for this, and a very few ingredients also. First we need, now you can use any type of sausage that you want to, but we just need 1 pound of ground sausage. And to this, We're going to be adding 2 cups of cottage cheese. And then we'll just mix these together. Now, if you wanted to, you can always add other ingredients to this, like some diced minced, I'd go tiny minced onion if you wanted to, maybe some fresh basil or thyme if you happen to have in your garden, etc. But this, basically all this is just your ground sausage and cottage cheese mixed together. My potato masher. This helps mix it easier. Now, we'll just take a pastry too big, and I just have a big nozzle on the end here. You don't want a tiny one, you want something a little larger, but it will just fit right into the end tube of the manicotti. And we'll just roll this back and put this right in the middle of a cup. And that makes it so much easier to fill. You can tell, then we just put our meat and cottage cheese mixture right into our bag here. Now, if you wanted to make this a smaller portion for just 2 people, you could just take and just cut the ingredients in half. But I can, what I'm gonna do is make the rest of this, make this all up. I don't wanna have leftovers of the dough and of the meat and stuff. I want to cook it all up. Then I can just take, and after it all cools down completely, I can take and just put that into Ziploc freezer bags, portion off. You know, however many I want to put in a bag to freeze. Okay, then just tap that down a little bit. And twist the top. And let's see, I want to get a 13 by 9 inch pan. And we want to put just a little bit of oil in that, just to help prevent from sticking a little bit. And just make sure you get all around the sides and the bottom well coated. And then we just take and stuff our manicottis. And just cover the hand, the bottom of it. And just squeeze that in there. That's all there is to it. And then just line these up, boom, 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 side by side. And that's all we have to do. It's so simple. Then, while I'm doing this, what we're gonna do then is we'll just pour sauce over the entire dish, and then we'll bake that for about 45 minutes. And the last 10 minutes of baking, we'll take and cover it with a cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. See? It just comes right out to the ends there. Really nice and pretty. Very simple. And there's hardly any cleanup, not much to clean up at all. So let me just continue this until I get these all done. And you just twist the bag in as you work your way down. Let you fill and twist and work your way. Then we'll be right back before I put the sauce on. Okay, now we'll just cover this. What I used was a whole package of manicotti. That's the 8-ounce? Yeah, 8-ounce package of manicotti. And that was what, 714, I believe? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, yep. So you see how I have them layered in the pan here. And then we'll just take and cover this completely with another jar of sauce. This goes over the whole thing. And spread the sauce all over the top. And then we'll let this cook for approximately 40 to 45 minutes. And then we'll cover this, and then the last 10 minutes or so we'll put on a cup of mozzarella cheese over the top. But now what I'm going to do first is put the parchment paper on top, and then foil on top of that. And that's going to keep the sauce from disintegrating the foil. If you just put the plain foil on there, the tomato sauce is going to eat away and disintegrate the foil, and you get those holes on top of your foil, like in casseroles. So just putting a piece of parchment paper underneath really helps out a lot. And then we can just put this in the oven and bake this for about 40-45 minutes. And then that'll be our sausage stuffed manicotti shells. Be right back then. Okay, now for our third recipe, we're going to be making a ham and cheese stromboli. Oh, that's all good. And easy. I'm doing these very simple, easy recipes so that you can make these at home when you have time to make them. Both these recipes that we did so far only took like less than a half an hour to throw together. And now you have to do about another half hour, 45 minutes, which one you make it, to bake. You know, so you can even take and make these up the night before if you wanted to, and then when you come home from work, just throw them in the oven and you're all ready to go. This one here, we're going to take and line the parchment paper on the baking sheet first, and then you can just use a regular pizza crust roll dough. And this we'll take, and I'm gonna open this up and unroll it. Oh, there we go. And then I'm just gonna take and just sprinkle a little flour on the countertop. And let's see, get this opened here. We got our rectangle here. And then we're going to just pat this out. Now this makes a rectangle when you unroll it, but it's all perforated into the different sizes, whatever. So we're just going to take a rolling pin to smooth this out. We don't have to take and make this bigger. We're just, sealing the edges. And we're not making this, we don't have to make this huge. So we're just, just tidying it up. Just make it nice and neat. Then, now, all we do is get my cheese, and we'll have a cup of mozzarella cheese. And this is kind of thick on the cheese, because we want it to melt and ooey gooey. So we want a lot of cheese. And just spread this out up to a ½ inch from the edges. So on the sides, try to get your corner in there, and to the end, just come up a ½ inch from the edge, from all around the edges. And just spread out your cheese. And that's simple. Very, very easy. Now, Excuse me. Just got over that cold. Oh, did any of you get that cold? Oh my Lord, I thought I was gonna die. Now that we got that cheese all laid out, now you just take and layer it with your ham. Now this is deli-sized ham, and oh no, it's not 8 ounce. But just take and overlap these as you go down the center. But just take and spread that out evenly from top to bottom. There we go. And as you can tell now, we have the cheese here, half inch from the edge. And then we have the single layered ham. Now from the short end here, we're gonna take and roll this up. Kind of pull back as you roll, and then pull back. That just makes it a little tighter, so you get this going. And then we can just roll this together. Ooh, I want to get that together. And then we just take and finish the seam together. And this seam is going to go on the bottom. So you want to fold this towards that seam so that it's going to look unified on the top. And then just pinch these ends together. So just bring this, fold it up, and pinch. That's the seam now. The seam's right here, the main seam. And these are folded towards that. Then we'll take and put this upside down on the parchment. There we go. Ooh, that's gonna look nice. Okay, this is looking good, isn't it? Ooh, yum, yum. If I did the oh, she'd come running. Oh, Kelly Ellie, and she'd be making, oh, and drooling. Oh, God, I miss her. I miss her so much. Oh, can't imagine. I don't know, maybe some of you can, I know, but, you know, she's around the house, always on my heels and something. Now when we're not there, it's like, oh, God, I miss her. Anyway, we'll take a couple of tablespoons of butter. We're going to melt this. And now we're going to take and brush the entire loaf of the Strombolli. Now we have that covered butter, and then we're going to put on some Parmesan, shredded Parmesan cheese. This goes right on the top. You know, a little, as much as you want. Everything, you know, moderate. Do what you want to do, how much you want to taste, you know. If you like Parmesan, put on a lot. If you don't put any on, you know. But just sprinkle on, I'd say, I don't know, about a quarter cup or so. But just pat that on there, and the butter, of course, is going to take and brown the bread, so it's nice and golden brown, and it also helps the cheese to stick to the bread too. And I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. Get all the excess cheese. Okay, and then we're going to bake this at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes until golden brown. Ooh, these are just wonderful flavors. Oh, I can't wait to start cutting in. Boy, is that ever good. Ooh. And this is our spinach and cheese with ground beef tortellini lasagna. Ooh, Kelly, this looks really, really good. See, I talked like she's still here. She always will be in my heart. Oh, yummy, yummy. Look at that oozy goozy. Cheesy, cheesy, ooh, ooh. Yummy, yummy. So I hope you enjoy the tortellini lasagna. Ooh, that looks good, don't it? Yummy. See, this is our ham and cheese Strombolli. Ooh, cheesy, oozy, goozy. Oh, it's hot too. That turned out really, really nice. Now this is the Strombolli. You can see how easy that was to make. And you can take and make any type of Strombollis that you want to. You could do pepperoni and cheese. You could do sausage and pepperoni, mushrooms. Vegetarian, you could do peppers and other vegetables in there, too, broccoli, etc. There's so many different combinations. When you go to the Italian restaurant, you get the Strombolli, they got just tarts and tarts and tarts listed of, you know, any and all ingredients you can put in there, olives, clamato olives, whatever you want to be creative with and make yourself, you can put that into your Strombolli. And like I showed you, it was very simple and easy. Just roll out the dough, the cheese, and the veggie toppings, boom, boom. Little egg wash, Parmesan cheese, boom, there you go in your oven. It just took just a few minutes. That's really simple. Then we had our sausage and cheese stuffed manicotti. I put that in the oven. That's all done too. I think that's my final, yep, that just came out. Ooh, ta-da, wonderful. I was always so leery about cooking off fresh pasta or uncooked pasta. And we did that in our recipe of the chicken manicotti a long time ago. We stuffed the raw chicken in the hard shells, and the sauces took and cooked up the manicotti. And I tested this too, same thing, that the manicotti, wonderful. Nice and tender, ready to go. So we also have, like I said, the sausage and cheese stuffed manicotti. That was wonderful and easy to make. Along with our ground beef spinach and cheese tortellini lasagna. I got too many things that I can't keep separate. What I got, what is what? But anyway, you see the idea that I was trying to make here, that you can make wonderful dishes yourself. You can make these in advance the night before and then throw them in the oven when you come home from work that afternoon. Or you can make them fresh right away when you get home. It doesn't take that long, and you get some nice, hearty meals for you and your family. You can also take now and portion these off as when they're completely cooled. Portion off and put in the freezer bags or in freezer containers or whatever, so that you got meals for later on in the future. All I have to do is whip them out, throw them in the microwave then, boom, 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 there you go. And these will last like about 3 days in the refrigerator or 4 to 6 months in the freezer. And like I said, it's just so simple. There's no reason why you can't have a good, healthy meal that's quick and easy. So from the Northwest Cooking Show to you, I want to say, eat healthy, be safe, and spread the sunshine. Bye-bye.